everybody. Hey, I was out here doing a little weed eating this morning. And I got to weed eating around some of the fence rows, and I got to thinking maybe there's people out there that I could help with horse fence. Let's talk horses. I've had a lot of experience with fences. I'm not a professional by no means, but we've tried a lot of different variations, and I just want to kind of throw it out there and show you what I've come up with and what works for us and what don't. So first off, let's talk barbed wire. Everybody thinks, when you think fence, you think barbed wire. Well, I tell you what, this right here will cut you, and it'll cut a horse open. You'd think a horse, big animal, have good thick fur or thick skin. No, they rub that, they're cut. I see a lot of people using barbed wire to hold their horses in. Well, it'll hold them, and it'll hold them in, but I promise you, you may not want the vet bill that comes with it. So, as you'll notice, I don't have any horses here on this line. We're slowly replacing everything on this property to smooth wire, but that ain't really even the best, but I'll show you what we got. Here's another style of fence. As you can see, I got horses in this field. I've actually bumped them over here for a short time. Hey girl. I bumped them over here for a short time to eat down some of this field. This field normally holds our goats and different things. Let me flip the camera around and show you what we're working with. As you can see, this fence, these horses have pretty well messed it up. Okay, so what they do, a lot of fence, you'll see this, and actually if you use it for horses, you want to get one that's less square here, because they can actually put their hoof all the way through there. They make some, they call it horse fence, and it's these type, it's closer together, but you're going to have this same problem right here unless you run electric wire across the top, which I don't have in this field. We have had it one time, and the electric went bad, and the horses just tore it up too. So they lean over, the grass is always greener, and they're always wanting something on the other side. So anyway, this could be repaired, but this is more, in my mind, for dogs, goats, sheep, etc. Here yet another field we have horses in. Here comes Storm. He's afraid I'll catch him. High tensile. This is my go-to for a long time, but you could probably tell in that camera, it's hard to see. So one of the issues you'll have with it, it is smooth wire, and it's very easy to put up, fairly inexpensive. But what you'll see is it's very strong, and if a horse ever runs through it, I don't care if you have electric on it, and that's another thing, you can electrify this, but if you electrify it, whether you electrify it or not, if a horse bolts through that, if for some reason he's spooked, or he's running to the other side, look at that. You barely see it. Now, I've got some that I've put ribbon on, different things like that. I like it due to the fact it's almost invisible, but safety-wise, still probably not the best wire. It's thicker and it doesn't have barbs on it, so it's less likely to cut them. However, it could still cut them. Here's one more section of fence we use on our farm for horses. Now, you may ask, well, you just said you don't like this fence, why'd you use it? So I still do use it because I need to keep dogs out or goats. We were going to run goats into this wooded area over here. But as you can see, I put this up, and literally in a week, they leaned over it. So I put my electric wire up. So we've stopped them from leaning over it, although it is very low. But here's one of the problems that you'll run into that I've found that this is, I won't put horses with shoes in this field anymore, but I kept losing shoes. And here's why. Once they push that fence down, when they lean it over, if you don't have, like, again, if you need this type of fence for a reason, make sure you run electric wire if you got horses on one side of it. Well, what they've done, you can see they pushed it down like that, and it's rolled on the dirt. Well, I kept finding horseshoes along this fence line, and they were stepping in it, pulling their shoes off. So that's the reason why I don't put shoe horses down here. Until I can get this fixed, maybe secure that bottom a little better, might be a good option. I try to put it into right against the ground, maybe come up from the ground so you can tied into your T-post really good at the very bottom. That might be a solution. But all right, and behind me is my favorite horse fence. Company called Centaura. I think that's how you say it. Out of Alabama, actually. Made here in Tennessee. And you can see I got it down that way. Through this barn, we got like an alleyway. This fence here, this part has been up 7 to 8 years. You can see it's got a little fade, not horribly bad. It's still, especially from the house, holds its color. This we just put up this year. Man, the look of it is unbelievable. I love it. It looks really good. There's no maintenance to it. This stuff, listen, I drove a tractor into it and it held. It didn't break the cable. So this thing's embedded with, I'm not a spokesperson for them. I wish I would, so I get a discount on it because I do more fencing, but it's got high tensile wire. 3 runs of tensile inside, embedded in this thing. You can get it in black, white, brown. We're doing a brown all over, but look at that. And listen, them horses, look, I mean, I'm only 150 pounds. No, I'm a little over 200, so, but it'll hold me, no problem. Of course, listen, we've had drafts in here. We had 2 Percheons, and they were bad to lean on it. I had to run some wire right on the inside, but look, I ran it right in behind. You can't even see it. And you see that fence post back there? That's what the Percheons did. The brackets didn't fail, the fence didn't fail, my post failed. But anyway, I don't know if you're gonna be able to handle it, be able to build something. I guess I could have went deeper for them big horses. Anyway, this is my favorite horse fence. Centurion. It's out of Alabama. There's a couple companies that make it too. I think a Camo or however you say it. Anyway, that's my favorite fence. It's safe, it's beautiful, it is easy to roll out. I've got a little video of me and my daughter and wife putting this up. Once the posts are in the ground and all that's done, man, this thing goes up quick. I should have showed you the turnbuckles on each side. Right here, you can take a 1/2 inch ratchet and tighten them up. Now, you might say, that sticks out, you know. You could flip that around. The reason I didn't is because that post, I wanted to run in line with that. This side over here, that I did years ago, you can see, I turned them the other way. You can still turn it the other way, but then you're inside. So it's just a little more difficult. I didn't think it was a big deal to flip them upside down and do them that way. Not really upside down, it's just the way I did them. But anyway, you can tighten them right here. They pull a lot of tension. So you need a good corner brace. I would do 10 feet apart. This is span at 25 foot right there. And it's been fine, held everything in for all these years. But it's a little too far. I had skimped a little bit on my posts. And actually gonna have to redo this line because of those big Percheon horses. But we'll go 10 feet apart next time. That line right there, that's probably, I'll just tell you, that's probably the worst part of this fence. And when you go into a dip like that, it's hard to keep it straight. I think manufacturer tells you to break it right there and stop it, you know, and then start a new line to keep it from doing that. So it's really good. Some people say you can't do it unless your ground's perfectly flat. Well, that line's not perfectly flat, and that looks pretty good to me. I mean, you know, I'm happy with it. Let's say that. So either way, there you go. There's some little lesson in horse fence. You may know something I don't know about something. Let me know. I know there's some coated high tensile. That's probably what I'll change to in these cut fences. I'd put this in there if I could afford it, but it's expensive. But them cut fences, I will probably go to that coated high tensile because I like the high tensile wire better than the rope that deteriorates over time. And they have it coated, and you can coat it in brown or black or white too, I think. I'll probably do white so they can see the cuts. There we go. Always looking to maintain safety. Obviously, I don't want to pay the vet bills, but I don't want to see my horses hurt either. But barbed wire, let me tell you, I had one horse. It's always the most expensive horse you got. Get into a barbed wire fence. One strand. I had one strand on it because I had cows on this property at the time. I put one strand in where I didn't have electric on a high tensile over here on a cut fence. And I kept cows on one side and horses on the other. And, this one cow kept pushing through, so I put one strand of barbed wire that, you know, so he right where he'd try to push through, and it worked. But wouldn't you know, that horse got into it. And anyway, long story short, it hurt it really, really bad. We ended up having to put it down. So at that point, I said no more barbed wire. So I don't even use it on my cows on my lease property, just because it's a pain to deal with. I get cut up by it when I'm working with it. So we run high tensile electric over there, so, and it works great. Hope this helps. If not,